It appears that the debate has had an effect on the election, and Harris, who was already leading in most polls, appears to have gained even more coming out of it. In fact, for the first time, Fox News' power rankings have put her in the lead over Donald Trump. That is mostly due to them now classifying Georgia and North Carolina as toss-ups in their model. So they are giving her more expected or projected electoral college votes than Donald Trump's. But in addition to that, we have some new polls, actually several. So the first is a Reuters Ipsos poll. This is coming after the debate again. And it said that in the debate, they think 53% Harris win, 24% Trump won, just in case Trump is watching. I just want to make sure he knows what a real poll says. But it also has her now up 5 points over her rival now. Last month, she was up by 4, so gaining at least a point. And as I talked about on the damage report, that doesn't necessarily mean she went from +4 points to +5. There's reason to believe from the polling over the last week, 2 weeks, that it might have narrowed, and now it's even bigger than it was in August. So that's my estimation of the effect. It's more than 1 point compared to where she was a week ago. There was no bump for Harris in a morning consult poll, though. That had her at 50 to 45. Although Trump was down 1 point from 46% in their poll before the debate. So she didn't get a positive bump to her level of support, but he might have driven some of his voters away. So potato, potato, it didn't help him in any event. And we have some other information coming out of these polls, new evaluations of some of the personality characteristics of the candidates, and we have a little bit of policy-based information. But what do you make overall of the change in the national and swing state picture?
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it. So a couple of days ago, I wrote on Twitter and I said right here on the show, that's it, Kamala Harris is the favorite. And now these polls are backing that up. And by the way, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure it out. They were in the ballpark of tied. Kamala had about a 1.5 point lead going into the debate, and she crushed in the debate. But not only did she crush, Trump said so many things that were bound to go viral. They had there was no other thing that could possibly happen than the entire country talking about are Haitians eating cats and dogs, because that's such a ridiculous, insane thing to say in a debate. That's all anybody's going to talk about. And once a huge number of Americans have heard him saying crazy things, and now if you can't go on the internet without hearing some mashup of Trump saying one lunatic thing after another, to the voice of the Simpsons, to this, to that, etc. Right? Of course, he's going to take a beating in the polls. So this is not rocket science. The 2 polls in a row, as John just explained, where she's up 5 points. You've heard me say a billion times over the last year, the Democrats to win by 5. There it is. She's winning by 5. So if the election were held today, she would likely win. And so it sucks that it's only likely win when you're up by 5, which is a nice size win in a normal election. But in our country, we don't really have a democracy. We have the Electoral College, which is absurd. So the Democrat has to win by a lot more, but she's there now. And hence the smell of panic in the morning for Republicans. But I will take a quick editorial note here. In one of the last polls before Biden dropped down, he was down 8. So for the people who wanted him to stay in, that's a 13-point difference, brothers and sisters. Biden had a 0% chance of winning. You're welcome. Franny.
Yeah, huge. I was just talking on the Bitchuation Room today with Tom Bonnier of TargetSmart that does a lot of polling data, but specifically registration data. And absolutely Harris crushed, but also, and I hate to be this person, they're talking about the Swift effect, and the fact that actually hourly after Taylor Swift posted what she posted, calling herself a childless cat lady and saying that she urges everyone to register to vote, and more specifically to vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they got 10,000 clicks on voter registration, an hour, and it keeps on going up every single day. And the registration is specifically in swing states, but it's broad and concentrated within women and women of color. And there was a bump after Biden dropped out. Now there's a bump after this debate, and of course the Taylor Swift endorsement. Like, this is where we are. This is the general. Sometimes celebrity endorsements really make a difference. And I've said this before and I'll say it again. Taylor Swift is not a political figure. You know what she is? She's a woman who like sings about being a person, like a full human being, like a citizen, like a full with full rights, you know, like with bodily autonomy rights and the right to like start a family if and when she wants to or never. Like that's who she is. And the fact that our country is so skewed right and the Republicans are so off their stuff that they've made Taylor Swift into a bum, not in their favor, but in the Democrats' favor. Because they are the party that believes that no, women should go in the kitchen because all the jobs will come back once they are stuck in a kitchen with 5 babies hanging off of them. Their jobs will come back and their you-know-whats will grow by half an inch, maybe an inch. It depends. Like that, and so again, like we are in this home stretch of a celebrity endorsement will absolutely crush you. And the voter registration is huge, and that is definitely exciting. Although, as Cenk mentioned, I think she's winning the popular vote, but we don't do popular vote, do we? Yeah. So there is still a huge fight ahead.
Yeah. As we transition our next topic, I'm just gonna leave people with one other fact. So there was a question to those who watched the debate. Who do you think out of the two would be more likely to listen to you and understand your concerns? Which is not like, do you think they won the debate? Will you vote for them? It's just, does this seem like a person that would actually care about what you're going through? 49% said Harris, only 18% said Trump, which is lower than the percentage who said he won the debate overall. Even some of the hardcore MAGA people who lied to themselves and said that he won don't think he looked like the sort of person that would listen to them or understand what they're going through. But that's amazing.
It is amazing, but you have to remember some of them are masochists. So they're like, he wouldn't listen to a person like me. Of course not, he shouldn't listen to a person like me. He should only be talking to the elites.
Yeah.
That's why I'm such a populist.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.